So I'm a fan of JoJo, right? And this is just a story. As the title says, this is the tale of a sad JoJo head. Because it's like Steelball Run. Steelball Run was cool. It was alright. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would have felt stronger. I would have felt a lot more. I don't know. Maybe I would have liked Steelball Run more. Maybe if I didn't go into it with certain expectations. So maybe it's my fault that I didn't, like it as much. It was alright still. It was cool. Gyros, he was dope. Johnny was cool too. But it's like, my expectations were so high, bro, that I messed myself up probably with it. But it's like, I just want to tell y'all. I just want to tell y'all the story of how, of like everything that I expected Part Seven to be, and like all the like crazy tinfoil head cannon stuff that I was coming up with. Cause like I wasn't spoiled on Part Seven per se. There were just like a few things that I kind of knew about. Like I think I knew about like the steel balls or like some they had something to do with a ball, and like I thought I knew what the main JoJo was gonna look like. And with the name Steel Ball Run, I kind of like put certain things together. That. But yeah, let me try to put this together. Let me try to put this together. The story is crazy. Okay, so I knew about Steel Ball Run. It was like Part Seven. I didn't know in the story or anything or when it took place or none of that. Right? I was going in pretty blind. And at this time, I think I was still on the Part Four anime. Diamond Unbreakable was still, on its run on the anime, and like I knew what the next JoJo was gonna look like. I can't remember how I found it out, but I knew he was like Italian. He had like blonde hair, but I think I knew what it was, and I think ah. It's so crazy. Like this is such a crazy story. There's so much to go into it with, right? So it's like I knew what Giorno looked like, right? I knew he had like blonde hair, which was cool. 'Cause I was like, oh, it's kind of a diversion. The previous four JoJo's all had like dark hair, but it's like the fifth one is gonna have like blonde hair. I was like, okay, that's changing it up. But so then it's like might be where it started. Well, I was at a friend's house and he had downloaded a demo for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Heaven. And like I went to like the title thing for it, but I didn't play it because I was like, I don't want to spoil myself. But I did see the title card for it. And I saw it had like all that game is like the biggest spoiler thing ever for JoJo heads who ain't like caught up. But it's like the title screen had like all the JoJo's on it, right? So I ended up like I tried not to stare at it. I tried not to stare at it. But I did like catch glimpses of who was on there. And I remembered like front and center there was this like sailor dude. You know, Gappy from part 8. So I was like, oh, what? I saw like a sailor dude and a dude. Again, remember, I was trying to like not avert my attention, but I still like saw everybody on there. So like in the back, I saw the first four, and then up front I saw the Gappy, the sailor guy, and then like on the sides I saw a girl, and then I saw like I think like beneath her I saw like a dude with like what I thought at the time was kind of like a turban. He had like something on his head, like a turban, or maybe I did think it was kind of like I couldn't tell if it was a turban or a the freak of the hat's called a beanie. I couldn't tell at the time, but I might have thought it was like a turban or something on his head. But yeah. So it's like I saw them, and I tried to wipe it from my mind, but I was like, dang it, I know what the next JoJo's are kind of gonna look like. What some of the next ones are gonna look like. I kept the girl in mind, the guy in the turban, and the sailor guy. I didn't know what part each of them were from, but they were in the back of my mind now. But then it was like much later from then, online on YouTube, around to YouTube in the thumbnails, you know how that goes. You gotta freaking thumbnails give stuff away nowadays. But it's like I saw on one of Mother's Basement's podcast thumbnails on the left, I saw like Naruto on the front in Araki's art style, but then off to the side of him, I saw a blonde dude with a dude with like long blonde hair, and he had like sunglasses on and like a cap. I didn't know who that was. I didn't want to listen to that podcast because I had a feeling, because it did have something to do with JoJo. So I was like, maybe they're going to talk about future stuff, probably. So I'm gonna leave it be. But I did see that dude on the left, and something clicked. I was like, that has something to do with JoJo. I know it does. So it was like, in my head, all this stuff started coming together, right? The people, so Giorno, the people I saw on the Eyes of Heaven title screen, that blonde dude with the dude with the blonde hair and the hat on, yeah, the baseball cap, or what I thought was a baseball cap at the time. I didn't know it was Diego. I didn't know it was Diego. I just knew it was some blonde dude with a baseball cap. So those three things, and the stuff I knew from about Steelball Run, right? So all this stuff, I put all this stuff over time started like melding together in my head to form this like tinfoil hat, head cannon stuff, right? So I was like, okay, from what I saw, Giorno is blonde. Like all the previous JoJo's were blonde, and I thought from part 5 and onward, Araki was probably going to change things up. He was going to like do this thing where like, the first 4 parts they all have like dark hair, but then from 5 and on they were all probably going to have like blonde hair, just to change it up, because blonde hair might have came into the family at that point. And so I knew Giorno was going to be next. And at some point, then there was going to be a girl with and she had blonde hair too, because in the game Jolene had like a blonde hair. So I was like, maybe that's Giorno's daughter. Saying this out loud is so crazy, because this is some mad tinfoil hat theory stuff. And y'all probably like, what is this nigga talking about? But this is what my mind was at the time. My mind was working. It was going through some stuff. But stick with me though, stick with me, because it was crazy. This had me hyped for part 7 for this headcanon stuff. But I was like, okay, Jolene, she blonde too, so she must be like Giorno's daughter, or like maybe granddaughter, one of his descendants or something. And then it was like, so then I thought back to the dude with the long blonde hair and the baseball cap, and I was like, okay, maybe, and that might be Jolene's son, or like, descendant or whatever. And when it came to that, I combined the stuff I knew about Steelball Run, and the balls, and the name Steelball Run, and then the guy with the baseball cap. And I was like, okay, Steelball Run, a ball, a dude with a baseball cap. He must be the protagonist of part 7. And part 7 might have something to do, or he might, at least his thing might probably be like, kind of like baseball stuff. And it's like, I don't know where this next part of the headcanon came from. I just can't, I do not know. But maybe it was because of how, but let me go ahead and tell you what I thought the part 7 was going to be, Steelball Run. I thought Steelball Run, for part 7, I thought Araki was going to go down the Street Fighter 3 route. Dog. Bro, I cannot tell you how hype I made myself thinking this, bro. Like, I deadass thought Araki was going down the Street Fighter 3 route with like more like urban freaking aesthetic. And like it was, oh bro. And I think I thought this because it was like again, it was the way that the dude with the blonde hair and the baseball cap that I saw in that thumbnail, the way he looked, because it was like he looked pretty cool though, because you know he had his like back kind of turned and he was kind of like looking back to the side like this with his like hat with his like baseball cap on, like that. And I was like, dude looks really cool, and like he kind of reminded me of like Terry Bogard for like that instance that I saw him that I was trying to like not look at him, but I did catch that glance, and I was like, he kind of looked like Terry Bogard. You know, Terry Bogard is I can't even remember what Terry is from. But I know he's from probably like you know like some of the streets area, you know that kind of area. But it's like all of that combined in my mind. I was like Street Fighter 3, JoJo. I was like, yo, that is gonna be dope. So it was like I thought Araki for Steelball Run was gonna go down the Street Fighter route, the Street Fighter 3 route, with the whole urban aesthetic. And I was like, oh man, that is gonna be so dope. And it's like, but then, but then it's like I got the Steelball Run. I should have known better to not like follow this headcanon of mine. But then I got the Steelball Run, and I was like, it started off, you know, with the Native Americans and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, they go flashing back for something, and then they'll eventually jump back forward. But then it was like, no, I was like, all right, we still sticking with Native Americans. And then it was like, this like wild Western stuff started coming up, and I was like, okay, what's this? And then it eventually became clear to me that it was like, no, this is set in the West. So then I saw Gyro, and I was like, oh, he looks cool. And I was like, is that the dude that I saw? I saw Gyro. I was like, is that the guy that I saw? I don't know. Then eventually we saw Johnny, and I was like, oh, that's the dude that I saw who I thought had a turban type thing on his head. And I was like, oh, wow, I was so wrong about this, bro. And then, you know, saw the steel balls, and it was like, you know, I was like, oh, okay, I get now why it's called Steel Ball Run. And it was like, oh, bro, I was so disappointed. But it was my fault. I hyped myself up off. I thought I hyped myself up based off of such just head cannon ass stuff. All of this stuff just mingled together in my mind and meshed together to create this thing that was so much better than what I actually got to. And it's like, yeah, you ain't got nobody to blame but myself. You know, it's sad. But yo, y'all can't lie. Come on now, that would have been dope. Araki could totally have pulled off a freaking a JoJo part that was kind of that was like a Street Fighter 3 with a whole like urban setting, urban aesthetic type of thing, where he could like name a bunch of stands after like freaking, like hip hop, a lot of like black genre music stuff, like hip hop, R&B, jazz, blues, like type of stuff. It would have been so cool. Like, oh, like, you probably would have been like set in like New York or something like that, And I was like, oh wow, that would have been so dope. Like y'all know Araki could have did it. Y'all know Araki could have did it to him. But it's so sad. And I know you're probably like, this dude, like y'all probably like, how do you come up with all of that weird crap? Like just based off of a couple of images that you saw, dog? That's what you came up with? But yeah. I love Street Fighter 3. So that's probably another reason why But yeah, again, part 7, it was cool. It was alright. But, not what I expected, but yeah.